Welcome, denizens of the internet. We are Grim and Barrett.
Hey guys, so on this episode, we're going to be talking about gender identity and sexuality in honor of Pride Month in June.
Hi, I'm AC, and I identify as she and her. But if I'm doing drag, I like to use the. And I'm drinking whiskey and lemonade.
Hey, I'm Knuckles, and I use she/her pronouns, and I'm drinking White Claw.
Hi, I'm Iris. I use she/her pronouns, and I'm drinking Thai tea without the milk.
All right, and I am Alice. I identify as she/her, and I am drinking carbonated blackberry juice.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Because I'm allergic to everything, and I use special sodas.
Am I the only one drinking? Okay.
No, I got
Okay.
alcohol.
You should got your own trash, but
Alcohol. Yeah, girl, you ain't wrong. Total carbohydrates, 2 grams, 1%. What? No protein whatsoever.
Well,
it's a drink.
I know, but like, you know, it says it's made pure. Hold on, it says made pure, but there's an asterisk next to it, so I don't even want to know what that means.
It's alcohol. They lie to you. They don't tell you the ingredients.
Like, it makes me burp. I know that for sure. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay. So we're. I don't know why I got the giggles. Okay. So, as I said, I'm AC, and I don't know why I was going to say I like. I don't know where that was going. I'm pans, but I also and I consider myself cisgender, but I'm trying to think of how I wanted to go on this journey. So in my 20s, I moved to there I am in now, New Orleans, and I got involved with a group, a drag troupe, because I was trying to figure out what my gender was. Like a friend of mine was like, I just went to a drag show, and I was like, oh cool, what were the women doing? And he goes, no, it's drag kings. And I was like, what is that? Tell me more. I want to know more. And because drag queens is the thing. Like you always hear of, you can be a drag queen and you can do this, but I never heard of drag kings. And it's the total opposite of queen. You put on facial hair, you wear a binder, you may put a packer in your pants, you do all these things, and then you go on stage and you perform as a guy. And I don't identify as male, but I like the idea of playing with gender. So, and it was fun, and I had so much fun. I had now the experience with the actual people that I ended up having a falling out, but the actual drag experience was awesome. And that's where I decided when I was on stage that I would use the term because I like to play with gender. So I go on stage and I go from guy to girl or girl to guy, because I believe that gender is fluid. And for me, it's all about playing with it and seeing what aspects you are. And I think sometimes I feel more male and sometimes I feel more female, but I tend to go more for my female side. So I really, I don't do as much drag stuff as I did back then. But like I said, that was my mid-20s. And so now I'm in my late 30s. So, but I do miss it. And hopefully when performing, when they open the world again, I'll be able to go back on stage. So, but I think that's it. I think I did it.
I identify well, I'm cisgender woman, and like, I don't know, pretty basic when it comes to gender identity. Like I have always felt like, you know, female and like a girl and woman. When I was younger, I was definitely I would put down feminine things. Like I was one of those kids slash teens that was like, oh, you know, liking this kind of stuff is like not, you know, cool or whatever. And I realized as I got older, I'm like, oh, that's like straight up internalized misogyny. Straight up. It's what that is. Because like you can like whatever you want to, and you don't have to freaking judge other people for liking that kind of stuff, you know, like feminine things. So yeah, like that's like in my more recent journey, I've always been straight, but then basically after my divorce, I kind of dated, you know, around and sort of had sexual experiences, TMI, with multiple genders. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome. And I went from there and like basically have just been on a journey of self-discovery since then with what my sexuality is. And I had a big old breakthrough, big old breakthrough, in January of this year. I remember, this is so crazy. So I was like making soup, like chopping up a million vegetables and watching a video my best friend sent me about this woman who identifies as a lesbian. And she was like, hey, so I just figured out I was demisexual. Let me tell y'all what that means. And she had an hour and I was watching it and I started crying. And I was just like, wow, I've never really resonated quite so well with something, because what it means to me and what sort of, what I guess the definition is like you're sort of mostly asexual. It depends on the person, but you have to have an emotional connection with someone in order to have a physical attraction to them. And I was like, dude, and it also means, because she was explaining in her thing, in her experience, she was like, yeah, and I realized like I was dating my girlfriend and I fell out of love with her, and then I was just going through the motions and I never wanted to have sex with her, and anytime I would have sex with her, it was just to make her happy. I wasn't happy. And then I realized, oh, I'm feeling asexual, and this is in it. Yeah. So it's like, it's a you know, subset of asexual, but it's so interesting, y'all. Like I've had that happen to me in every single relationship I've ever been in. And now there's a word for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was a huge thing for me. So it's been really cool learning about myself this year. Suddenly, like it's crazy. So that's been pretty cool. So yeah, like, kind of bi, I guess, but kind of bi, definitely demisexual, and definitely I have to have that emotional connection in order to, you know, like someone. I can have like a million celebrity crushes, but it's usually because I watch like a bunch of interviews with the actor or musician or whatever, and then like their personality. And I was like, oh, that's why I have so many crushes on all the boys. Like it makes sense now. It's like, yeah, they're hot, but also you like their personality. So yeah, yeah. I know, right? Like I don't know. I've learned that recently. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay. But yeah, Iris.
Yeah, I love that journey for you. um, so I was very religious growing up, very Christian. So my journey to where I am now has been sort of, I don't want to say stunted, but it's been a long time going through. I identify as pansexual, and I have for a while. When I was in high school, I was straight. I wasn't straight, but
That's what you went with.
That's what I went with.
That's my story.
I think the first time that I was sexually attracted to a woman was like in either the 5th or 6th grade. Like it, it wasn't like it was, you know, like once I was becoming sexually attracted to anybody, I was also sexually attracted to women. And I was like, as I grew and I became stronger in the church, I was like, oh, that's gay. We can't be gay. No. Mm-mm. No gay. no gay here. And you make up reasons why you were feeling attracted. You know, you like are like, oh, I'm not attracted. I'm just really good friends with them.
Mhm.
That's what. You just want to make out with your friends every once in a while.
It's okay.
Or I just think that girl's really cute because she's kind of masculine. So it's
Aw.
and funny enough, I at least at the time, most of the girls that I found cute were very feminine, but I would cling on to the ones that were masculine because I was like. But of course, I was also attracted to men. I only ever dated men, but I didn't end up dating a ton in high school. I'm with my same partner now, but anyway, so I went to college. And like instantly after being outside of my parents' house, I was like, I'm not straight.
I love that. Immediately, nope.
It was like within a couple of months, I like, you know how gays attract each other? I don't know what it is. But I like all my friends are gay. We're all gay together, like not gay together, but
You're like this, you're not like that.
we're together, not gay together.
That's cute.
So I was like, I'm bi, and then I was like, I think I like, I told my partner, I was like, I think I like girls too, and he was like, okay.
Okay, that's so
okay.
cute. Okay, like, cool.
He didn't care, but so and then as I met other gay people and sat in the community, I eventually found the pansexual identifier. And I identify with that more because I see pansexuality as like a subset of bisexuality. All bisexual and pan people can be, at least in my opinion, attracted to the same exact people. And it's just the way that you're attracted. So I get attracted to the person. It's not like I have like a type of person that I'm like, oh yeah, I really like girls with blonde hair and or like super feminine girls or whatever. Or I only like super masculine men or whatever, or super feminine men or whatever. Or I just find people attractive. Not based anything on their gender, how they identify, any of that. I've been attracted to many trans people, non-binary people. None of that has really ever like their gender identity or how they present themselves has never really factored in. And that's just how I find that I am attracted to them. So it's not like, oh, I don't see that person and be like, oh, that's a really attractive woman. Like, I'm just like, oh, that's an attractive person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so that once I've kind of settled on that for quite a few years. But yeah, it was interesting getting there, but it was good. All good.
Well, I identify as Demi as well. My journey was a little different. I did also have a YouTuber that mentioned it. I'm like, that's it. You're
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a meme with demisexuals that everybody else comes out. It's like, I'm such and such, and it's like, I'm Demi. Here's my dissertation. Wait, I forgot my notebook.
Oh my! Wait, hold on. I didn't see that meme, but like, Yes.
There's a lot of TikToks about it too. Like it's
Oh,
like
God,
everybody
that's
else
so
coming out of the
cute.
closet and they're just like waving a flag, and then the Demi person comes out of the closet and you're
Hang
like,
on.
wait, I forgot my novel. I have to explain. I have a slideshow.
That is so relatable. Okay, that just backs up my conclusion even more. Like, I'm like, yeah, I feel very comfortable in this label.
But yeah, I sort of had it figured out in middle school because like all my friends were boy crazy and I wasn't.
hmm
And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like a late bloomer thing, even though I typically was ahead of the curve on everything else in puberty, but whatevs. But yeah, I had a friend on the bus that she came out to me as lesbian. Like, oh no, she came out as bi, which she's like, yeah, I'm bi. I'm like, what was that? What was bi? And so she explained herself to me. I'm like, oh, I think I'm nigh. She's like, huh? Like, nigh as in neither.
That's really cute, though.
I was like 11, 12-ish, so I mean, that was
Come
the
on,
technology I could
that's
come up with.
cute.
So I'm just like,
I
I think
like
I'm
that.
nigh. She's like, that's not a thing. I'm like, I
It
feel
should
like it is.
You're like, I mean, it feels like it is, but all right.
And so I kind of dithered on that for a while because like everybody else was like, no, that's not a thing, and I really felt like it kind of was, at least for me. But I was confused because like when I would get like I would date a boy, like I'd have a guy like every so often ask me out, and if I dated them for a while, I started to feel attracted to them. I mean, it was somebody that I was friends with first. It was someone I liked, but once we started dating, they would get cuter. Like they would like my mental image of them would alter, and I would see them as hotter.
Oh my
If that makes
gosh,
any sense.
yeah, yes, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like you're
And then
describing exactly what that woman said too, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
and then like if something happened or if like I sort of fell out of love with them, they would become ugly. Their appearance would change. It's like in a Gretzko, where Gretzko is dating the other red panda, and when she first meets him, he's just got this plain like face, and then they start dating, and all of a sudden he gets like this studly, really hot looking face. And then while they're dating, he looks like such a potty to her, and nobody else sees this. And then after she finally realizes that this relationship is just not working out, his face changes back to the plain face from when she initially met him. I'm like, that's exactly what happens. That is so me. But yeah, like I didn't really understand it because like I was asexual except when I wasn't. And like I don't think most sexualities have like exceptions to the rule of your sexuality and attractiveness, but mine does. But yeah, so I kind of after I finally found out from like I said a YouTuber saying, "Hey, I figured out that I'm demisexual." And like when she went through, I'm like, it was like a chime. It was like it just like everything was just like hitting. It's like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And so I started like looking into asexuality. I joined a couple websites that were for asexual people, and that's how I found out about a lot of the memes. Like one of the main ones is cake, because asexual people would rather eat a piece of cake than have sex. So,
Correct.
like one of the forums I joined, what part of your profile was you were supposed to name your favorite type of cake because that
That's
was really
cute.
important information here. And
I love it.
I painted my nails with the Asian flag. You
Yay!
can't tell, but they are holographic. It's rainbows.
I love it. That's so cool. So what is your favorite cake?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu. Mine too. Like, I don't like cake, but I love tiramisu. That's freaking hilarious. Oh my god.
I like pie.
I prefer pie, but if I have to eat cake, tiramisu is the bomb. It's so good.
No, if I have to eat cake, then it's red velvet or German chocolate.
I'll tell you one thing. This is neither nor there, but fermenting. We had this big stupid. Okay, well, I don't, this is me.
Wait, we
But
gotta
big-
quick. What is your cake?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
I like
What's your favorite
cake.
cake? Just cake, just any cake.
I like cake.
You like the
I
band
had
Cake?
cake at my wedding.
The cake is a lie.
But that's not my favorite. I just like cake.
Okay,
We had
now Knuckles had a story to tell. So
we had a he was a big Star Wars fan. I mean, you know, was still around. We were both Star Wars fans, and he wanted a red velvet cake in the shape of the Millennium Falcon, and that's what we got for the groom's cake. And there was no cake left at that wedding, y'all. Like people devoured it, and it looked cool too. It's still on the website. Like they're really proud of this one. It's so cool. And I was like, sorry, we're divorced, but whatever, it's fine. But red velvet. Yeah. The cake looked great, and like you know, also, and this is neither here nor there again, but while we're on the subject of cake, all you viewers out there, all two of you viewers, kidding, if you're getting married and you know how they have that tradition of like, oh, save the top tier of the cake. I implore you, if you're going to save any, just save one freaking slice, because you do not, if you save any, just one small slice and serve the rest. Don't do a whole tier, because we brought it out and threw it away. It was super gross. Just if you want to do the tradition, just do one slice. That's my former marriage advice.
No. So what we should do is comment down below what your favorite cake is.
Please.
So my marriage device is if you go through a bakery, then you can actually ask them to remake you one the following year, and then you don't have to save it. You can just, I got that from a wedding site. That was their advice, that
That's better.
that
That's
you
way
can
better.
express, and you just go to the same place.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, and the place that we went to had wedding cake cupcakes. We could have done that.
See, then it tastes like that day instead of like freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did triple cake, and it was amazing. And I'm just like, it's not chocolate. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I have the
exactly.
chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not a big chocolate fan. And you know what? You know how y'all know, like in New Orleans, it's like the popular thing to do is almond flavored cake. And I'm not against that. That's delicious. That's what we had. It was like buttercream frosting with almond flavored. Delicious. It's the best thing. Like that's wedding cake flavored. Also, my favorite snowball is wedding cake.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
The best. Or silver fox. So good.
So,
Dragon's blood.
do we have anything else we want to say about sexuality? I mean, we can keep talking about cake, which is
Hey,
it's evolved into
reference
cake.
to my sexuality.
no, I'm just saying we just kept circling the cake. Like I'm like, we can stay there. I like
that.
I like
like
food.
cake.
I got a little big. I like food.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we can if we have any fun stories about that kind of stuff, because like, okay, so this isn't exactly my story, but it's sort of my story. Okay, gather around, children. I'm just kidding. I like this to tell the story because my best friend of like 11 years, we were really close for a long time, and like recently. I mean, I revisit our conversations because all that stuff is saved on hard drives from yesteryear, and once in a while I'll go reread stuff. And like, I'm reading through stuff and it's just like, I think she was in love with me. And like, she would never admit it. And I don't think it was ever a sexual attraction, but like, you don't have to have sexual feelings for someone to be in love with them. Okay. And like, I look back and I think back all the memories I have of our relationship, and all I could, like, let's put it this way. I was more scared to tell her that I had had sex for the first time than my own mother. Like, yeah, because I didn't want it to change our relationship because she had put so much emphasis on, if you have sex, you're a slut. She was a very toxic person back then, but so was I. And we fed off of each other in a very bad way. And I don't think we were really right for each other as friends. It's funny though, and this is how it all comes right back around, because I remember when I realize like, oh, I think she's like in love with me. It was after we weren't friends anymore. But something that was interesting was like when I was going through and realizing, oh, I might be attracted to women. I mean, I definitely am, but like, would I date one? And then all I could think of was like, oh, she's very, very, very much not my type. And it's like, I wonder if it's because, right? And I wonder if it was because of that relationship and the toxicity of it, or if I just am not attracted to her as a person. You know what I mean? And I think back and I'm like, no, it is. She just simply is not my type, because I see people that look like her and I'm like, yeah, nothing. And I was like, is that something that like I don't have any control over, because like that's crazy. And I see her now because, you know, like this is New Orleans. It's like this big. I'll see, you know, videos or something on the internet and I'm just like, yeah, still nothing.
Yeah, still nothing.
Like, I don't want to be a jerk or anything. I'm just not attracted to you. I'm so sorry. Have y'all had any kind of experience like that with friends or like people in your lives or anything?
I mean, usually it's it finally dawns on me that someone's hitting on me, and I'm like, oh no, how do I fix this? How do I stop this?
Rewind. I don't like this. It's funny too, because now that I'm thinking about it, sorry, because it's like, oh, I realize I'm demisexual. Well, I knew her better than anyone I knew in my entire life for a long time, and I was not in any way sexually or emotionally attracted to her. So it's like, huh, yeah, okay. Because I guess like for a long time it was like a toxic relationship, so I wouldn't even be like, I didn't even want to be friends with her anymore. Wow, this is crazy, guys. Thanks for being my therapist, y'all. I'm playing.
Much cheaper.
But yeah. But everybody, please seek therapy if you feel like you need.
I was about to make a joke about, okay, now you can pay us $100. No,
No, I can't afford it.
I would need like Lucy and peanuts or 5 cents.
Yeah. Cute. Yeah.
So,
I can afford that.
Okay, so guys, I have a question for the two. It's funny that there's two of us that are pans and then two of you guys that are demi. So I'm not trying to put y'all like stereotype you or anything, but I was really confused because so what I was asking is that it seems like y'all's demi. I don't know the correct pronoun. You know,
Demi's
pronoun.
fine.
Demi, yeah,
Okay.
Demi's good.
Yeah,
it sounds really cute.
Yeah, it seems like y'all are a little different. Like you're more Knuckles is more like you actually have more attraction to people like more celebrities than I see that Alice does, and Alice seems to be more I don't want to use the word asexual, but I don't know how else to
Yeah.
It is correct.
Yeah. But I mean, so I was just curious, how does that work? I don't understand
have, like general physical attraction, like unless I'm in a relationship. Because like I remember when all my friends were boy crazy, they're like going on about boys' butts. I'm like, I don't want to talk about boys' butts. It's stupid. And like everybody was just like talking about how hot various guys were and like naming different parts of them that they found attractive. And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about their butts, and I don't find anything attractive. Like, I'll talk about abs because I'm actually generally impressed with guys who can build up abs. So,
but are you attracted to those abs, or just like, hey, that's really
I was.
I got you.
Because
so if somebody asks,
body part, it was just like an impressive form that I could talk about because I'm like, this is impressive that they did this. And I can talk about it like I find it sexually attractive and pass.
Right. No. Yes, I understand. And like, because it is kind of like, in order to make friends back when you were younger, you kind of had to, learn the lingo. Let's be real.
I didn't pass very well because all my friends thought I was undercover lesbian. Like, no, I didn't like the girls either.
I love that as an insult, by the way, because I've been called a lesbian and a dyke my entire life, and I'm just like, and like that's not an insult. Like, why do you think that's bad? And it's usually because I was always hanging out with my best friend who was a girl, and they're just like, oh, like, are y'all dating? And I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I usually hung out with guys, but I didn't date any of them.
But I also,
Right.
I'm kind of like, I mean, sort of. Like, let's be real. We hung
I
out a
did
lot.
have a girl accuse me of being a whore because I hung out with 3 different guys. She thought I was dating them all, and just like they didn't know about each other, and it was just this big secret thing where I was 3-timing them. Like,
And you were like, no. Dude, what?
like, they give me too much credit. Like, I don't even flirt.
That's well, like you brought up an
You
interesting.
don't know you do.
I don't
Oh,
flirt. People think it's flirty. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
You don't
anything
mean to.
topic, I will talk your ear off no matter what.
right. That's you know what? Okay, so like, and this is kind of how I quantify it. Okay, so AC asked, like, that's a really good question. And like, so I can see a person and I'm like, I think that person is attractive. It's different than being like, I am attracted to that person and I want to have sex with them. Extremely rarely do I get that until I learn more about the person. So like, I might be like, that person is very physically attractive. Oh, they're really funny too. That makes me interested in them. Like, that's the difference. Like, and that's why I kind of thrive on Tinder. And I usually just use Tinder because Bumble gives me too much anxiety. So I'm like, I don't want to be the first to talk. No. Meh. And like, I like Tinder because first, this is gonna sound bad. A little bad, but it is like a menu of people. It's like, here's the menu. Who are you? It is. It's like picking out like, oh, and like my current partner, that's how I found them. And like, we had like 24 people in common. So it's not surprising that we were going to meet eventually. But, I happened to be on Tinder for like 2 seconds because I had been talking to I think it was 3 people, getting to know them and seeing how I felt about them, right? Like, I was talking to them and being like, okay, am I interested in them? I went on a couple of dates and wasn't feeling it with those people. And then I randomly came across this person. I was like, they look weird. They also look familiar. I'm in, and I hit like, and then they liked me back, and then we started talking, and then now I'm dating them. But like, I think that's why I thrive on Tinder and on, because I prefer to get to know someone's brain first.
Okay.
But anyway, but
Sexy.
but like with celebrity crushes, I don't really. I think I'm like, oh, that person's very attractive. And then there are people that are objectively attractive. Like, I understand that Chris Hemsworth is attractive, but I am not attracted to him. Or like Channing Tatum, or I have a whole list because it's like all these people that are like, oh my God, Paul Walker. I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
Who's Paul Walker?
Fast and Furious guy. The one that died. He died in a car
Okay, I was
wreck.
about to say I don't like
Sorry,
that
honey.
either. He looks too
Yeah.
much like Zach Morris
But
to me.
I know, but I knew a woman not even just a few years ago who was like, I was like, oh, because we were talking boys, I was like, oh, what's your favorite, what actors do you like? And she's like, oh, like Channing Tatum. Who are you attracted to? I was like, who do you think is hot? And she's like, Channing Tatum and Paul Walker. And I was just like,
Ew.
but also that's her preference. And I was like, hey,
Sorry.
man, that's not mine, but that's cool. And like, when it comes to physical looks and like personalities, I like a gamut of people and different personalities. And like, I'm like wildly, y'all, I have the gigantic, like the biggest freaking crush on Fiona Dourif. Do you know who that is? She's the voice of Chucky, the original Chucky doll. His name is Brad Dourif. His daughter and she was in something like The Big Thing. She's in the Purge TV show. I haven't watched it yet, but she's the holistic assassin in Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. She's she's got like a New York accent. Anyway, I'm so attracted to her, and it's the weirdest thing because it's like, what? And I'm just like,
There's a Purge TV show, or the Panic?
It's a Purge TV show, and some of it was filmed in New Orleans. Pretty cool. Yeah. So that was a question for the Demis. Cute. A question for the pan people. How do y'all experience, and do you quantify a difference between physical attractiveness, being physically attracted to someone, and like objectively attractive people? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you have any?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
When you're like when you're physically attracted to someone, you're like, whoa, hello. You're like interested, like instantly like interested.
Yes.
You're like somebody came to work a few months ago, and I like looked at the girl next to him like, I'm about to divorce my husband.
Love it. That's really cute. I'm about to divorce my
like instantly, like, you know, if I was available, I'd be like, here's my number. Not at work, but
sure,
you know,
yeah.
Closest
my number.
I may have
Like,
done to something like that would be the Chewbacca incident.
That was funny.
The Chewbacca incident.
Oh, like we were hanging around Comic-Con before it opened because, you know, we have a booth.
Yeah.
And I find height attractive. Like, doesn't mean I'm sexually attracted. I like really tall people. And so we're palling around, and I just see this, like, Nordic-looking man walk by, and he's, like, 7 foot almost. I was like, dang.
Oh, no. I know where this is going.
Now I'm gonna stop you there. She almost didn't want to go, and I was like, "You like somebody?
I wasn't
We're
gonna
going.
make a big
Let's
deal
go."
of it.
And
I
I
was gonna like chase this guy down and be like,
No.
"Hey, here's my number."
No, I was like,
Sure.
"No, let's just follow where he's going." And
I was just like,
let's
really
just
tall
follow
dude. That's
stalk.
impressively tall. Let's find out.
let's just follow, and we lost him.
Oh,
And then,
how did you lose him? He's 7 feet tall. No, I'm playing.
It's like, well, he
because he had
booth
two-
too, because he
he
plays Chewbacca, the new Chewbacca. And so she saw him later and just starts giggling, and he's like, "What the heck?" And she's like,
Don't worry, I can't explain it.
yeah, I got full eye
I
contact.
accidentally sort of saw Chewbacca at one point.
But we thought he was just a hot guy. We didn't know he was the new Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm just like tall and pretty. Hi.
So I have a fun exercise that I just thought of. Okay, so who are these celebrities or like, you know, people who are in the public realm domain that if you were available and the opportunity presented itself that you would go on a date with them? Like, is there anyone out there where you're like, man, I'd really like to date this person?
So I just remembered what I was going to say earlier because it's a reference to celebrities. So I'm attracted to Loki from the Marvel movies. I'm not attracted to Tom Hiddleston.
Right? Oh my God, me.
Not that he's not pretty. He's pretty and he's tall.
He's a wonderful person.
The one like caveat to that is he's a Shakespeare nerd and that's
Oh, Oh, he's
like,
he's objectively gorgeous. Like he's a great. No, I'm with you, girl. I like him as Loki,
like,
but as Tom, I'm like,
oh, so in the vicinity, and there was a showing of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I'd be like, you, me, booth, let's go. Because that's my favorite Shakespeare play. He's a Shakespeare nerd. I think that would be a fun time. The idea of going home with him after, but
that's okay. You don't have to go home with him after.
Would be amazing.
See, date, and that's this exercise. Like, hey, like I want to go on a date with this person, or date them. Like you don't have to.
Okay. So it's a what if, right? Like if
Sure.
they're single and we're both single. Okay.
Yeah. No, nothing else. It's just like, hey, these are the people that I would love to go on a date with.
Okay, Darren Chris.
I get it, girl. I get it.
Like, he's happily married and he's younger than me. But yeah.
No,
I think he's now 30.
I feel like we should all go around and say ours because I have several, and I'll just I have so many, you guys. It's really bad.
I probably do, but I'm getting off top. But you had a question, and I before we everybody else think of your favorite celebrity crushes. So I thought it was funny because you say that's why you like Tinder because you have a chance to like get to know people and that. I don't use. Well, now I'm newly divorced. I've been. I'll be a year in June. Officially divorced, but so I don't use any of like oh, okay. I'm probably dating myself. Okay, Cupid. Tinder. You know. Bumble, you said, like, I don't know what these are. I don't use that to meet people. I prefer, well, when we could, I prefer meeting people out at events, bars. That's how I meet people and date them is through my circle of friends. And so I'll hear through somebody in my group, oh, this person thought you were really cute. Oh, they did? Who was that?
Okay.
Let me go on Facebook and look at them and see if they're, okay. And so that's how I end up dating people.
I got you.
It'll happen accidentally because usually I'll find out they like me, or I just think they're cool, and I'm like, I want to continue that conversation.
Yes.
But usually I have to be I prefer the in-person meet to also gauge the chemistry. I don't even think I did it on purpose. I think that's just how it happened with me.
Okay, so and I realize now I probably should not redact, but I should amend what I said. So I use the online apps, and I also use Facebook to screen people. That's a more accurate, because like, here's the thing, because I have met people, I've met people in person, or I've met, definitely not in the last year, but I've met people through friends, or I see them commenting on my friend's stuff on Facebook, and then I go stalk them and learn about them to make sure they're not awful people, or at least on the surface at least. And then because this has happened like a few times, I met someone and we became friends on Facebook, and then we found each other on Tinder, and I was like, hey, do you want to go out sometime? They're like, yeah, I'd love that. It's like, cool. So like, I use Tinder as a barometer. So it's like, if I meet people out in the world, it's like, that's cool, but I use Tinder to let them know I'm interested. I also like to be able to read what they say about themselves. Do you know what I mean? And like what they choose to say and show of themselves, because that's a huge indicator of what you're going to get, especially with dudes. Like and I love that. Like, I love that they're, for the most part, pretty honest. And like, the vast majority of people I'm not even remotely attracted to on Tinder, but that's okay. Like, that's just not, I can look and be like, yeah, I'm not interested in this person. My favorite though, because there's a new thing on Tinder where you can add a swipe note, which means like, if you super like someone, you can send them a note. And this person was very, very nice, was like, hey, you seem really cool. And like, I right off the bat, I was like, I'm not interested in this person, but I'm going to look at their profile because, that's nice. And he had a kid. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I very clearly state in my Tinder profile, I'm not interested in people with kids. Full stop, not trying to be a jerk. That is not something I want in my life. And like, in January, before I met my current partner, I was talking to a couple people, and this one guy, oh man, y'all, like, he was a redhead. He just was, I don't know, he was cool, and he liked Supernatural, and I was like, oh yeah. And he had like a really cute name, which I won't say, but like, it was cute. And like, we started chatting, and he was just like, oh yeah, like, we should go grab a beer sometime. We can go have, drink a beer and hang out on the hood of my car out by the lakefront. I'm like, that sounds fantastic. And then like, when you exchange numbers, this is also just FYI for people watching. When you exchange numbers and you put the person's number in your phone, I have an Android phone, and Facebook automatically pulls people's profiles and puts them into the people you may know slot. So it did that to this guy, because we had exchanged phone numbers, we were texting, and it was like, hey, you may know so and so, and I was like, wait, what? And in his profile picture, it was him and a kid. And I was like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean. And then I clicked on his profile. I'm like, yeah, he absolutely has a kid. I'm like, I specifically freaking said, and like, I don't like that, because what if I had fallen for this guy? And it's just like, oh, well, that's a huge, I mean, that is, I put it clearly on there. That is not something I want in my life. Like, I have no problem with children. I just don't want to be around, like, it's not my thing. So yeah, I was so, I was so angry. And I think like, I do not condone this, and I hate ghosting people, and I hate when I get ghosted, especially by people that like seem really interested in me. But I was just like, I'm not responding to this guy. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't want to explain it to him, and like, and it was fine. Like, he messaged me once and then didn't message me ever again. I'm like, cool, thanks, man. But yeah, like, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I use it as kind of more of a barometer and a screener. So it's like, okay, I've seen this person around. Let me see how they present themselves. Okay, they're not a murderer, or at least I can't tell they're a murderer. Cool.
I get a kick out of the closest I came to being on a dating app. I was going through Facebook, and they were rolling out the dark mode, And I love dark mode. It saves power. It's easier on your eyes, and it's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
it's my
So
favorite.
I was like, just waiting for it to roll out to my phone. And I was at a friend's house, and I see a little heart that it's swirly black and white. I'm like, maybe it's I love dark mode. So I think it's dark mode. It's the Facebook dating app. And so I clicked on it.
No!
Oh yeah, dark mode. And I clicked on it. It's like, you're joining the dating pool. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like,
I didn't consent to that!
no, 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 no,
It was a
no, no, no.
mistake!
And
Oh
my friend's
gosh.
like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, I thought it was dark mode, but it's a dating app.
Ugh.
Like, that's freaking hilarious.
Just throw your phone, you're like, no!
How much I was freaking out over possibly joining it.
Actually, I thought about joining it the other day. I saw it enter my thing, and I was like, "Do I want to do this? No, I don't." And I got out of it. I don't have the. I mean, this past year and a half with the pandemic has made me not have energy to date. Like, I just like the relationships I'm in, and even those are either comfortable or they can be exhausting. Like, and I mean friendships.
All relationships, yes.
All
yes,
relationships.
yeah.
Everything just seems harder right now. And I don't know if that's because people forgot how to interact with each other for the past year and a half. And we all went crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Iris is up.
I 100% have lost all of my social skills. It's funny because people will come and interact with me in person, because I've just been like through a glass, and they'll come to me in person at my job, and I'm like, do you want to talk to me or something?
Hello?
That didn't come naturally to me anyway. So I've been loving this whole, like, I don't actually have to talk to them, like, thing. I just, like, go do whatever they need, and then I come back and like, bye.
Do you remember in Buffy when Anya was working at the magic box, she goes, "Here, now leave." Yeah. And, like, he's like, Anya, you're supposed to say what I don't need to know what their day is like. I have their money. And it's like, yeah, but it's customary. It's like a customary human thing. I love that. She's like, here you go, now leave. And I'm like, can we please do that instead of all this nice stuff? Like, I love freaking Anya's great. I'm gonna wade into this carefully. Okay, so AC knows who I'm talking about. So on our first date of the person that you know about, it's funny because we had talked and we had okay chemistry talking, but not, it was kind of basic. And then we met in person and we had physical chemistry, and that was kind of one of the first times that that's ever happened. So that it's kind of interesting, and it kind of depends on the person, and with that person, I always had better chemistry in person with them instead of like, it was really hard it was very hard, I felt, to continue a conversation with that person via text, which I learned later on after we hadn't stopped seeing each other. I was like, oh, that's a thing I need to look for in the next partner that I pursue. Okay, cool. And like, that's something that me and my current partner are able to do, is like talk, via text message, or really it's Facebook Messenger. But like, I like to talk, and like the way I flirt and the way I get to know people better is through gifts and jokes and like that, like tech talking, but via text. And in person, it's a different thing. Like, I'm good with people in person, but like, yeah. And that's something that I learned, and I actually wrote down like, oh, okay, here are the qualities in a partner that I'm looking for. Here are the things that like are not a big deal. But like, as far as people that I'm physically attracted to, like right off the bat, I like shorter men. Like I'm 5'4", so I'm not like super tall or anything, but like, I really, really like shorter guys. And like, there's very much a specific, I will be honest, kind of emo look that I like. And like, I think back to the people that I dated, I'm like, oh.
My biggest crush in high school was in band. He was actually only a year older than me, but he was 2 years like ahead of me. And I would still, if he came and knocked on my door, I'd be like, hello, goodbye, husband.
Oh, dude! Oh my goodness, that is spicy.
It's so funny because there's like, I don't know what it was about him. I still like every once in a while will go stalk his Facebook and be like, he's just having such a good life. I
Like,
can be in that.
oh, that's so cute. Oh,
The only boyfriend that I'm still on good terms with, his Facebook became very like cottagecore because he built a tiny home with his husband. And it was just like the cutest little house. I'm like, aw. He gave me a throwing knife on our first date. Best first date ever.
We're devolving, I guess. So do we do the
We
thing?
never answered the question if that's what you're asking.
Which question do you want to talk?
What celebrity crushes we had?
Oh yeah, we can go
Like
around
the
real quick
beginning
and
of
do
the
that.
video.
I have like, okay, I'll go through like if I find an actor and I'm like, I like this actor, I'm gonna watch or comedian, I will watch every single possible interview or listen to every single possible interview and watch all their stuff. And like I think my most recent like crush was John Mulaney because but like right before him it was Ben Schwartz, like who plays John Ralphio in Community, listen to me, on Parks and Rec. And you're like him, but he's more well known now as Sonic the Hedgehog, which fun fact was my first crush ever. Yes, the Jaleel White Sonic the Hedgehog from 1990. Oh my gosh, 2 or 3, whatever it was, 4. That Sonic the Hedgehog was my first crush. And like the fact that Ben Schwartz plays Sonic the Hedgehog in the new movie, I'm like, oh, you're killing me. I have like, I have a thing for Jewish
Hedgehogs?
men. Hedgehogs too. No, I'm just playing. But Jewish men in particular. I know that's a weird subsect to go into, but I'm not kidding. I like name any Jewish actor, and I'm like, yep. Even if they're gay, Dan Levy, like, like you're just attracted to all these people. But Ben Schwartz, I have a big old crush on. John Mulaney, James McAvoy, Bill Hader. Like, it's a whole bunch of comedians, and like Sam Morrill is just, he's great. He's so funny. But yeah, like that's, and also super quick throwback to when I was talking about my friend. I realized something too. Like I'm boy crazy for fictional characters and like celebrities. That's what it is. That's the difference.
I have like more of the fictional character than the actual celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And you saying the cartoon character? Okay, I will say I want to say my first crush would have been Robin Hood from the Disney, like animal version. Like that Robin Hood. I forget who the voice actor is, but he's it's somebody like
Errol Flynn.
I don't know.
Is it Errol Flynn? It's a popular dude.
Yeah, because that was I don't even know which version. It's the Robin Hood from like
with the country music. It's
like
adorable.
the 60s or something. Yeah, it's Oodalali. Yeah,
Oodalali. That. Xander
from Buffy. Nicholas Brendan.
I love him, but I heard that he's had a hard life, so I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Sure. Fair enough, ma'am.
So I've never met him.
Like a celebrity without ever wanting to meet said celebrity.
Yeah, because I don't want to ruin the moment. Like I had the chance to meet him, and he was spiraling, or maybe that's not the right word, but it seemed like he was spiraling. He was having a lot of
created at the time.
He was having a lot of issues. That's all I'm going to say. And I was like, I don't want to. Sometimes they say never meet your heroes, so I didn't want that to run it. And then I want to meet the book version of Luna, and I think we'd actually be really great as a couple. So
Luna's the best.
Not the TV show Luna, but like
Luna
not the
Lovegood.
Harry Potter. Yeah, I meant like the book version. Yeah,
I get it.
Sitting here going, I identify more with fictional characters than I do real people.
Yes.
I don't know. That's pretty bad, but that's where my head goes. I only want to meet one. I want to have a relationship with one celebrity person.
Well, what about y'all? Iris and Alice, what are y'all thinking?
I'm gonna be really basic and be like Ruby Rose, Margot Robbie, Henry Cavill, because I want to see his game collection.
He is like hitting on like I want to see your game library.
I'm here for the game.
But really,
I mean, I would.
I want to be his friend because I want to pet his dog. Like he actually, like his actual dog.
Oh my
That's
God,
not
like Chris
like,
Evans.
not-
Like, not
That's
even
why
because I'm like,
yeah.
dog.
I love
No, no,
Chris
I-
Evans because of that.
Yeah,
His
I
dog.
mean, oh yeah, he has a dog too. Yeah,
He's
'cause,
great.
I forget. Henry has. I forget what kind of dog he has, but he brings his dog everywhere.
Aw.
Yeah, I think I follow him on Facebook just so I can see pictures of his dog.
The new Spider-Man is adorable with his animals.
Oh,
Like during the pandemic, he bought he couldn't get eggs, so he bought chickens.
Oh,
it's just a cutie pie.
He's
Oh,
adorable.
And his umbrella dance was just
see, I think my main
Amazing.
thing is for celebrities. I just want to be their friends. Like I don't necessarily want
Yeah.
to date them or because I'm like, it's enough just to like I don't. I just like, can I just be your friend?
yeah,
Bros, man. I want to be bros.
yeah.
You want to be what?
want to be bros.
Bros.
Bros. Yeah, that's
cute.
really what I want. Like I met now I will say the celebrity person I met that I fangirled over and Alice was there for that was John Barrowman and
I get that.
I had a bit planned. I cosplays as Captain Jack and I had a whole bit
he threw all
planned.
that out the window.
But that went out the window because he goes, oh, I know you're right. Like he flirted and he trilled at me. Like he did that tongue thing where he
He
trilled.
snapped your
And I
suspenders and goes, how?
and I did this.
Y'all.
Totally teed.
And
Like-
I totally fangirled.
I think it may have been a conscious effort on his part, having heard some of the stories with him recently, but like he perfectly tailored his actions to like our comfort level because
Yeah.
he did that with her, and then he like petted the skirt of her or of one of our other friends that was with us, and then to me he just pats me on the shoulder. I'm like, thank you.
He read your energy. Come on, like that's pretty. That's impressive. He was just like okay, not getting a vibe from you. So hello.
Although he,
Yeah,
great.
I was dressed like him. I was totally so he knew.
He realized it a little too late with my sibling, who all she wanted was for him to sign her Funko Pop, and he started serenading her and just singing to her in the middle of the room, and she absolutely despises attention of any kind, and she just wanted, like, I could see, like, I was off to the side when this happened, and I just see this happening. I'm like, oh, he's singing, that's cool. He's like, oh, he's singing to my sister. Oh, she wants to duck and run. She's looking for an escape hatch. Oh, God.
He's like, no.
Like, I can see her, like, there's an escape route. Oh, God, there isn't one. There isn't one.
I do have one super duper quick story about like instantaneous attraction. I was getting my picture taken with David Tennant. You reminded me when he said John Barrowman, and I was dressed as Jessica Jones. I think I told you all this story already. And he went, as I was walking up, I was like, I didn't say anything. I was just walking up and he goes, hello, Jessica. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, and like got next to him and he's very tall. And I was just like, and he smelled good. And he had red hair at the time because he was filming Good Omens. And I was like, oh my God. And like, because my favorite anime character of all time is a redhead mind reader. And that's basically like, he had red hair and like he was acting like Kilgrave. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I just took the picture. I was like, thanks, David. Ran away as far as I could because I was like, oh my God. He put like the hello, Jessica. And I was like, I can't. I can't.
Well, the closest I've probably gotten to a celebrity crush was Stuart Townsend. If you guys know who he is. He played Lestat in Queen of the Damned.
I like him. Thank you. He's great. Everybody can
Yes,
go away.
Yeah,
He's great.
Was also, like, I know people don't like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but I love it. And I exclusively saw it because he was in it, and I was just like, it's Lestat!
And brunette
And he
Lestat,
plays
hot.
Gray. He also has a cameo in Ultraviolet, I think it is. Or no, not Ultraviolet, Eon Flux. Rose Bond called him up and she's like, hey, I need to make out with somebody. Do you want to just come over and make out with me for a bit for money? He's like, sure. It's that scene where she has to pass off with the pill and they just make out real quick and pass it over. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
So, y'all think we did the thing? Because I think we did the thing.
He probably did the thing.
Okay. So I think we made this uncomfortable world a little bit more comfortable.
So, in conclusion, yourself. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
You'll be a
They
lot
say
happier.
yeah.
Happy Pride. Like if you did, share if you think you should, and subscribe if you want to live. Just kidding. Thank you. Bye.